Hello, friends. Welcome to this series on time, speed, and distance. In this part, we look into the problems based on the concepts of clocks which we have seen in the previous session. So, right away, we'll start with the questions. So, question 1 says that at what time between 6 and 7 am will the hands of the clock make an angle of 10 degree? So, we have seen how to do a question of this nature. Basically, the question is this is the clock, this is 6, this is 12 mark, this is 3 o'clock, this is 9 o'clock. Then here, at what time between 6 and 7 am? So 6 and 7 here somewhere. When the hands of the clock make a angle of 10 degree. So somewhere the hour hand will be like this, and minute hand would be 10 degree either. So let me draw minute hand with a green ink. So minute hand would be either ahead of the hour hand, or either it may be behind the our hand, right? So that is what angle here is 10 degree. This is 10 degree, and this has been given as 10 degree. So we have to find at what time, what is that time at which this position of needle we can see. So we have seen the question, the process here. Basically, a direct formula also we had seen that it the time is given by 5t plus minus theta by 6 into 12 by 11, right? How come this? Because see, at this point of time, basically what happens, we can take a anchoring point like at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock the angle between the two is 180 degree, right? So from 180 degree the clock will have to gain 10 degree, or I mean, so either it will have the minute and hand will have to travel 190 degree with respect to the hour hand, or 170 degree with respect to the hour hand, so that to reach in this position. So that is what we had, using that we had arrived, obtained this. So here it will be like 5, value of t is 6, plus minus theta here is 10 degree, so 10 by 6 into 12 by 11. This will give, from here we can say 30 plus 10 by 6 into 12 by 11, or 30 minus 10 by 6 into 12 by 11. So this we can write as 190 upon 6 into 12 by 11 minute, or this we can write as 180 minus 10 upon 6 into 12 by 11, which is 170 by 6 into 12 by 11. This further can cancel out, and here also this will go 2 times. So this is 380 upon 11, or this will be 340 upon 11. So this is, so basically from here we can say those two times are either 340 upon 11 minute past 6 am, or 380 am, or 380 upon 11 minute past 6 am. So that is the time, right? Either at this time or at this time the angles between the two needles will be 10 degree. Now a few of you might be wondering about this relationship here. How did we obtain? So this we had discussed extensively in previous session, but for those I just again take this up again here. So let us see how the actually things. So for any generic t, say this is between 4 and 5, sorry, 5 and 6, let us suppose. So at what time between 5 and 6 when the uh, angle between the hour and the minute hand be, let's say theta is equal to 30 degree, right? at what time between 5 and 6 will it be. So basically the approach is that at 5 o'clock the position of the minute hand would be something like this and hour hand would be like this. So 30 degree means what? 30 degree we can convert to distance, either it can be, I mean we know 6 degree is equal to 1 unit, so 30 degree will be nothing but 5 unit. So basically question is ki minute hand in the revised case scenario will be either 5 unit ahead of this or 5 unit behind this. That is the only thing which is being done here. So what is happening? The minute hand will basically, to arrive in this position, the minute hand with respect to the hour hand will have to cover first this distance, right? What is this distance? This is 5 into 5, 25 units, because the needle is at 5, and so 5 into 5, 25 units. So basically to arrive at this position, it will have to come travel 25 plus 5, right? Why 5 additional? Because of this, to make this 30 degree. And now we also know that to cover 1 unit of time with respect to hour hand, the minute hand will take 12 by 11 minutes. Why? How come this? This will be again from the relative speed. Relative speed is 55 kilometer per hour, right? So 55 kilometer per hour. At this rate, what will be the time taken to cover 1 unit? So that will be nothing but 1 upon 55, and to convert this to 55 unit per hour. So to convert to this to minute, it will be nothing but 12 by 11 minute. So to cover 1 unit, it is 12 by 11 minutes. So that is what we did here. So this becomes 25 plus 5. Now for this case, for the case wherein the minute hand is before the hour hand, so for that it will be nothing but 25 minus 5. So minute hand will have to travel this much, 25 minus 5, to reach here at a relative speed of 55 unit per hour, so that it will take 12 by 11 minute to cover 1 unit. So to cover 25 minus 5 unit, it will take 25 minus 5 into 12 upon 1 unit. So these are two cases, and that is what we had written here: 25 plus minus 5 into 12 by 11. 25 is what here? Here 5 into t. T means at 5 o'clock. We are seeing 5t plus minus. This 5 is what? This 5 is in terms of the requirement. The need is 30 degree. 30 degree means what? Theta upon 6 we can say. Why theta upon 6? Because 1 unit means 6 degree. So 30 degree means, so in terms of distance it will be what? 6 degree is 1 unit. So theta degree will be 1 by 6 into theta into 12 by 11. So that is what we did there. 5t plus minus theta by 6 into 12 by 11. So using this we got the answer, right? There are other methods also, like other direct relation which we had obtained, that the angle at any point of time between the two hand will be given by 30h minus 11 by 2m under mode. This should be equal to theta, right? Theta or 360 minus theta. It can take any value, because that's just a. So now if we solve this also, here we will substitute 30 into, say, h is equal to 6, right? H is equal to 6, our hand is 6, minus 11 by 2 into m is equal to theta. Once we can take 10 degree, and then in another scenario we will take 30 into 6 minus 11 by 2 into m is equal to minus 10 degree. So let us solve this question. So this will become 180 plus 10, 190. 190 into 2 upon 11 is equal to m. And if we solve this, here we will get 180 plus 10, 90. 190. This will become 170 here. 170. And here it will be 190 into 2 upon 11 is equal to m. So we get the same answer as earlier, 380 minute past 6 o'clock, and here also 380 minute upon 11 minute past 6 a.m. So getting the same answer, this was method 2 and this was method 1. Anyone we can take, right? Anyone we can take. Moving to next question. At what time between 5 and 6 o'clock will the hands of the clock be equidistant from 8? So another, I mean, similar question with a bit of extra concept here. Let us see. It says that at what time between 5 and 6 o'clock, so 5 would be somewhere here. At what time between 5 and 6 o'clock will the hands of the clock be equidistant from 8? So this is the problem, right? Now, question is at what time between 5 and 6? So between 5 and 6 means our hand would be somewhere between 5 and 6. We do not know about the minute hand, but it says that minute hand has to be positioned such that the angle between the hour hand and minute hand such that, I mean, that it is equidistant from 8. So one thing could be that minute hand is overlapping with our hand. In that case, minute hand is overlapping with our hand. So in that case, both the hands are equidistant from this point 8. or or if minute hand is minute hand is say somewhere here, such that the distance, this distance, let it be d, and this distance between hour and hand and 8 is also d. So this can be another scenario, right? So there are two cases formed here, being formed. Now let us see first case, case 1. When the two needles are overlapping. Overlapping. So this is a very simple case. This is like finding the time at which the two needles of a clock will overlap between 5 and 6 o'clock. So how do we find that? This is pretty simple. Here what we will do, that time is given by, because at 5 o'clock what is the position? At 5 o'clock, the distance is how much? At 5 o'clock the distance between the two, at 5 o'clock the distance, not d, let it be say any other s, capital D, at 5 is what, 25, right? At 5 o'clock our hand will be pointing towards 5 and minute hand will be pointing towards 12. So that distance is nothing but 5 into 5, 25. So 25 unit of relative distance to be covered by minute hand at a relative speed of 55 unit per hour. So what will be this? This will be nothing but 25 upon 55 into 60. So this is nothing but 12 into 12 by 11. 24 minute. Here we get 24 minute. So this means that, sorry, this will be here 25. So 25 by 11. So calculation is wrong here. So this becomes 300 by 11 minute past 5. Or directly also we know that minute hand takes 12 by 11 minute to cover 1 unit over our hand. So to cover 25 units over our hand, it will take 25 into 12 by 11. So that is 300 by 11. So this is the first time, right? First occasion when they will be equidistant from point 8. Now case 2 is that both are at a distance of d from 8, right? D. So how to solve this? So in this case, both distance of d unit from 8. So in this case, what will happen? In this case, minute hand will cover how much distance with respect to our hand. So distance, that is relative distance to be covered by minute hand over our hand is what? Initial distance was 25 unit. I mean, we have anchored, the anchoring is at 5, at 5 am. At 5 am, the d5 is 25 units. So now from there we are comparing. So from at 5 o'clock, the two needles are 25 unit apart. Now after that, to first the minute hand will cover 25 units with respect to the hour hand to meet, and then it will cover 2d extra, 2d distance extra, right? So 25 plus 2d to arrive in this scenario unit, right? Now we know, and this is a relative distance with respect to our hand. We know that the our hand, so time taken will be what? Time taken will be nothing but, for 1 unit we know that take the minute hand takes 12 by 11 minutes. So for this much it will be 25 plus 2d into 12 by 11 minute, right? This is the time minute past 5 am. This is the time at which both will be equidistant from 8. Now further, how to find the value of d? So from here now see, in the same time at 5 o'clock, what was the position? Now at 5 o'clock, so what is the distance covered, actual distance covered by minute hand? Distance covered by minute hand is nothing but what? 25 plus 2d, right? So here basically this is 25 plus 2d. No, it will not be 25 plus 2d. It will be, I mean, same time, in the same time, in the same time, the minute hand has arrived at this point, right? So it has covered d unit extra than point 0.8. So that is 8 into 5, that is 40 units up to point 0.8, then plus additional d unit. So this is 40 plus d, and distance covered by our hand is what? Distance covered by our hand. Now see, our hand actually covers this much distance, right? This much distance. What is this distance? How can we find? Now see, from this point, let this be m and this is n. So from 8 to n, so that is nothing but 8 to n. Let this be given as some point p. So this is nothing but pn minus d, right? And that is what is mn. and mn is the distance which it has covered. So what is Pn? Pn is nothing but Pn is 8 to 7 to 6 to 5. So that is basically 3 hour. So 3 hour means in terms of units it will be 15, right? 3 into 5 units minus d. So this is the distance in the same time covered by the hour hand from 5 o'clock. The anchoring has been done as, or the reference is being taken at 5 o'clock position. So this is the distance. Now the speed ratio we know is 12 is to 1. So we can equate the ratio. So distance covered by minute hand is 40 plus d. Distance covered by hour hand is 15 minus d. And this is, and the same time distance has been covered. So this will be equal to the speed of the ratio. Speed of the ratio is 12 is to 1. So from here we can solve this. We get 40 plus d is 180 minus 12d, and that is equal to d is nothing but 140 upon 13. 140 upon 13. So now we will substitute d in the main equation and we will find time here. So time will be nothing but, time will be 25 plus 2d, that is 25 plus 280 upon 13 into 12 by 11 minutes. So this can be simplified. This will be the answer. Minute past 5 a.m. This is the answer. So I mean, a good question. Otherwise, because here we could find two scenarios wherein the question would be satisfied. That is, the both the hands are equidistant from point 8. One is the scenario in which both the needles are at the same time, at the same position. What is that time when is that? So that is the time when they meet together between 5 and 6, and that we can find using the relative motion concept. Secondly, when the two needles are spread out on the either side of 8 and equidistant. So basically 8, from 8, let us say the needle minute hand is d units apart, and so is the hour hand on the other side. So now the distance to be covered by minute hand. So now to get in this position, the relative distance which has to be covered by the minute hand to reach here is over hour hand is basically what? 25 unit for first it will cover to meet the hour hand, and then additional 2 unit to arrive in this scenario. So 25 plus 2d unit. Time taken will be 25 plus 2d into 2 by 12 by 11. And now to find the value of d, we took out the ratio of the their speed and the actual distances covered by both the needles in the given time, in any given time. So that ratio, from that ratio we found out the value of d, and that d we substituted and got the answer. So with this, now we'll move to question number 3, and that says that Saurav started answering a test at a time between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. He noted the position of the hands of his watch. He ended the test at a time between 11 a.m. and 12 noon. The positions of the hands were interchanged. For how long did the test last? I think it should not be p.m. here, it should be a.m. A correction here in the question. Otherwise, test is going to be too long. So just to simplify the problem, otherwise even that could give us some answer, but I mean, let us solve some meaningful question here. So Saurav started answering a test at a time between 10 and 11, right? So between at a, this is 9 o'clock mark, this is 6, this is 3, this is 12, this will be 11, this will be 10, this is 9. So he starts the test at a time when it is between 9 and 10 and 11. So somewhere the hour hand would be pointing in this fashion. He noted the position of the hands of his watch. He ended the test at a time. He ended the test at a time when at a time between 11 and 12. So in the second scenario, during the time the test was being ended, at that time, this is 12, 9, this will be 10, this will be 11. So during that time, the position of the hour hand would be somewhere between 11 and 12, right? And another piece of information is that the position of hands were interchanged. So now see, interchange means earlier this was the position of our hand. So now this will be the position. So in the second case, that will be the position of the minute hand now. Okay. And in the first case, the position of minute hand will be same as the position of our hand in the second hand. So this will be the position of minute hand, right? So this is basically the question. So for how long did the test last? That is the question which we have to solve. So let us see how to proceed ahead here in this question. So let us see here the problem. So let us assume that this distance, let this distance be d units, right? So hence this distance would also be d units because just the positions are interchanged. Hence the distance between the two hands here also will be d units. Now we know that at any point of time, or rather when we know the distance between the two hands, we can find out the time at which that position is there. So that time actually is given by t, that is 5t plus minus theta by 6. Theta by 6 we can write here as d. Theta by 6 is d here, and theta by 6 is in terms of degree angular distance. Here it is in actual distance d into 12 by 11, right? So for the first case, what will be the time? For the first case, the time at which this position would occur is nothing but here 5t. Here the our position is 10, right? So 5 into 10, and since the minute hand is ahead of the hour hand, so it will be plus d into 12 by 11 minute past 10 a.m. This is the time at which the both hands of the clock will be d units apart, with minute hand ahead of hour hand. Now in the second case, this is time in the first case, time when the test is ending. At that time it will be what? Now t, that is our hand, is 11. So 11 into 5, 11 into 5 minus d. Why minus? Because here in this case minute hand is behind the hour hand. So minus d into 12 by 11 minute past 11. Why here 11? Because here we are anchored to 11 o'clock reference. Here we are, because here the hour hand is basically between 10 and 11. Here it is between 11 and 12 noon. So this is past 11 a.m. So this is the basically starting time. This is the ending time. So to get the difference, how long did the test last? We have to find the value of d. How to find the value of d? So for d again we use the in the same time the hour hand has traveled in the time when hour hand traveled x, rather d units, minute hand travels how much? Minute hand started from here, and then it on the way went through the circle and reached here. So basically this is nothing but 60 minus d. So travels 60 minus d units, right? So and since the time is constant, so the ratio would be nothing but d upon 60 minus d will be nothing but speed ratio, that is 1 is to 12. So this gives 12d is equal to 60 minus d. So from here we get d is equal to 60 upon 13. This value of d we will substitute in this equation, in the two equation. So the difference what we were getting, so difference of the time, that is t2 minus t1, is nothing but 12 by 11 is common, and this becomes 55 minus d minus 50 minus d. So this gets cancelled out. So what remains basically is 12 by 11 into minus 2d, right? So I mean we'll take the mode of this anyway. So this will be 12 by 11 into 2 into, and d is 60 by 13. So this value we will find out. What is the value of this? So this will be nothing but, let us use calculator. I mean 24 6 1440 upon 143 minute. This is the difference between the hours. So how long the exam happened here? Hope the calculation is correct. Let me check once again. So this is difference of time basically here, a bit of a calculation error here. Basically what we have to do, we have to substitute this value of d in these two equations and then subtract. This is certain minutes past 10 a.m. and this is certain minutes past 11 a.m. The difference of the two will be answer. However, uh, another way to find that difference is a pretty simple one. So that difference can be given by, because see, the difference of the two time is nothing but the time. In that time the minute hand has covered a distance of 6 minus d units, which is 6 minute d minutes, right? That is the only thing. So that difference of the time will be nothing but 60 minus d minutes. 1 unit is 1 minute in the clock, so it is nothing but 60 minus 60 by 13, which is 780 minus 60 upon 13, which is 720 by 13 minute, which is same as 12 by 13 hour. Approximately this will be like 55.3846 minute. So this is the answer to this question. So here the concept was only that the positions were being interchanged. Positions were of the two needles were being interchanged. So in that duration, what is the effective distance covered by hour hand and minute hand? That ratio we have taken, and further to arrive in, I mean here we have assumed that they are d distance apart. So d distance apart. So at what time will the two hands be d distance apart? If they are between 10 and 11, so that is given by 5d plus 5 into 10 plus d upon into 12 by 11. Certainly, similarly, between 11 and 12, at what time when the distance between the two hand will be d units? So that is nothing but 55 minus d into 12 by 11, minute past 11 am. So these two along with the value of d, we can get the difference of the time, and that is what is being asked in the question, right? So now we will move to question number 4. where it says that Akshay went out for his office between 8 and 9 in the morning and reached back home in evening between 9 and 10 p.m. when the hands of the clock had interchanged their position. At what time did Akshay return back home? So similar question, let us see. So the first is, this is 12, 3, 6 and 9. So Akshay went out for his office between 8 and 9 in the morning. So somewhere between 8 and 9 he would have left. So at that point our hand would be pointing somewhere here. And in the second scenario, while Akshay returns back, at that time reached back home in evening, that is evening between 9 and 10 p.m. So in that point of time, the hour hand would be pointing somewhere between 9 and 10. Now, when the hands of the and between these two time stamps, the position of the hands have interchanged. The position of the needles have interchanged. It means that now this was the position of our hand here. So this will become the position of minute hand. So minute hand would be somewhere between 8 and 9. And here in the second case, this is the position of our hand. So now this will be the position of minute hand in the morning case. Right? That is what is given here. Now let us assume that the distance between the two, let this distance be d units. Similarly, this distance between the two needles, let this be d units. Both will be same. So at what time in the morning between 8 and 9 o'clock when the needles be d units apart? So that time t1 we can find that as 8 into 5, and here the needle minute hand is ahead, so that will be plus d into 12 by 11. And in this case time t2, that is the time of return, will be nothing but 9 into 5 45 minus d, because minute hand is behind, into 12 by 11. So this is the initial and the final time. So we have to find at what time did Akshay return back home. So this time we have to find. For that we need to find the value of d. So what is the value of d? Let us find that. So what is the distance covered by our hand? So our hand has covered distance from this location to this position, right? And this is in morning, this is in evening. So basically our hand would have covered 9, 10, 11, 12, then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then here, right? So our hand would have covered basically this d unit plus what, 12 hours, right? Means, I mean, we can just see here, our hand first travels from here to here, and then it will take another one round, complete round, that is it will cover 12 hours more to be here in the evening. So d plus 12 hours, and 12 hour, each hour is 5 unit. So d plus 12 into 5 is the distance covered by our hand in during this time. And the distance covered by minute hand will be nothing but, minute hand has, now see, our has our hand has taken 5 complete round, 5 complete round. So in that case minute hand will take what, sorry, our hand has taken 12 complete round. So in that case minute hand will take 12 complete round also, and 12 complete round of minute hand amounts to 60 unit, right? 60 unit. Basically, to rephrase that, when hour hand moves for 12 hours, it means every hour minute hand will cover one round, that is 60 units. So for 12 hours of hour hand, minute hand will cover 12 into 60 units. That is there. Further, but for the time when hour hand travels from this to this, I mean for the first hour position, for the first hour, right? I mean this is for the time from 9 to 10, when the hour hand is between 9 to 10, and then again reaches between 9 to 10 in the evening. But when the hour hand reaches up till this point in the morning, from 8 to 9 to 9 to 10, so in that time the minute hand would have covered 60 minus x, right? So this is nothing but 780 minus x, 780 minus x. It is not. For minute hand, what happens? Minute hand actually in the first round it will cover, that is minute hand from here, it will cover till here and reach here, and then it will take further 12 rounds of 60 unit each. So that is, this distance first is 60 minus x, and then 12 into 60. So that is 780 minus 6. And this is the distance covered by both in the same time. So this will be nothing but the ratio of their speed. So d plus 60 upon 780 minus x is equal to nothing but 1 upon 12. So this we can further simplify as 12d plus 720 is equal to 780 minus x. So that is nothing but, sorry, let this be d here, d, this is d. So here it becomes 13d, and this will become 60. So d is nothing but 60 by 13, 60 by 13. So d is 60 by 13. This value of d we will substitute in t2. So t2 will become 45 minus 60 by 13 into 12 by 11 minute past 10, sorry, past 9 p.m. This will be the answer. This we can further simplify, but I mean that will not give much of a year. Let me solve this. 13 into 45 is how much? 585. 585 minus 60 is 525. 525 into 12 upon 11. 525 into 12 upon 11 into 13, that is 143 minute past 9. So this is nothing but 44.056 minute past 9 p.m. So that is the answer to this question. Moving to question number 5. Question 5 says that if the hands of a clock coincide every 80 minutes and the hands of another clock coincide every 65 minutes, what is the approximate time difference between the two clocks in exactly 24 hours time interval as shown by a correct clock? So let us see the what does the question say. There are two clock 1 meets every 80 minutes, right? Every 80 minutes. So what is the time gain or time loss? So usually when in a clock which is correctly showing the time, the two hands meet after 12 by 11 hour, right? So but here it's meeting after 80 minutes, which is more than 12 by 11 hours. So here it will be a time loss. Time loss will be 80 minus 12 by 11 hours. This we will convert to minute. So this will be 12 by 11 into 60. So this will be 880 minus 720, which is 160 upon 11 minute. So this is the time loss. But this is the time loss in 80 minutes. That is the clock loses 8. So in 80 minute, and this 80 minute is what? This is the correct time, right? I mean, this is not the time shown by the 40 watch. I mean, 40 watch will be meeting at its own time. That is whenever in the question it's mentioned that in every 80 minute or every 65 minute, it means that we are saying from the perspective of a true watch. That is, when there's a 80 minute has elapsed in a true watch, in that time the 40 watch has lost 160 upon 11 minute loss. So in 1 minute, using unitary method, in 1 minute it will be 160 upon 11 into 80, right? Sorry, upon 80, which is 2 by 11 minute. So in 24 hours, that is 24 into 60 minute, total time loss would be what? 160 upon 11 into 80 into 24 into 60. So this will be again, I mean, 80, this will go two times. So what remains is basically 48 into 6, right, upon 11. So this will be 261.82 minute loss. This is for the clock 1. Now we will see for clock 2. So what does this show here? So here the two hands are meeting after every 65 minutes. So here it is a time gain, right? Because in usual clock they meet after every 12 by 11 hour. Here they are faster. They are meeting more frequent, right? So here we will multiply this with 60 to convert this to minute. So this becomes 720 minus 715 upon 11, which is nothing but 5 upon 11 minute, and this is the gain. So basically we can say that in 65 minute as shown in the true watch, the 40 watch gains 5 by 11 minute gain. So in 24 into 60 minute, that is 24 hours, what will be the net gain? That will be 5 by 11 into 24 into 60 minute, and that is that we will solve 5 into 24 into 60 upon 11 here upon 65, and this will be 10.07 minute. So what does this mean? So if there is a, now we will compare the three watches. There is a true clock, then there is clock 1, and then there is clock 2. So suppose, I mean, at time t is equal to 0, at time t is equal to 0, or say 12 noon by to t is equal to 12 noon today. Today at 12 t is equal to 12 noon, true clock will show 12 noon, right? This will also say, I mean, both were set right at this time, so 12 noon, and this will also show 12 noon. Now, I mean, today they were set right at this time, and all was showing the same time. Now, tomorrow after 24 hours, tomorrow at t is equal to 24, sorry, t is equal to 12 noon, tomorrow, that is after 24 hours, the true clock will show 12 noon, whereas clock 1 has lost 261.82 minutes. So that will be 12 noon minus 261.82 minute, and the clock 2 has gained 10 minutes, so it will be 12 noon plus 10.07. So what is the difference between the time shown by the two clock 1 and clock 2? So this difference is nothing but, I mean, 12 noon will get cancelled out. So difference will be 261.82 plus 10, so that becomes nearly 272 minute. And this is the answer to this question, 272 minute, the difference of the two, right? So this is the way, I mean, this we need not have done, just for the sake of a bit of clarity I have taken this. Otherwise directly we could have told this is 261.82 plus 10.07. Why this is so? Because this will be t plus something, this will be t minus something. The difference will be, both will be added, t will get cancelled out, right? So therefore we get an answer 272 minute. Now moving to the next question, that is a 40 clock is set right at 12 noon. If the hands of the 40 clock coincide every 64 minutes, find the actual time when the 40 clock shows 7 p.m. on the following day. Now see, here it is given that there are two clocks. One is a correct clock and other is the 40 clock. Right. Now it's further given that the hands of the 40 clock coincide every 64 minutes. So what is the time gain? Why time gain only? Why not loss? Because this is less than 12 by 11 hours, right? So this will be 12 by 11 into 60 minus 64. So 720 minus 704 upon 11, which is 16 by 11 minute time gain, right? So the 40 clock is having a time gain of 16 upon 11 minute, and that time gain is in 64 minutes, right? Is in 64 minutes. So now let us see. Today 12 noon. What will the time be shown by correct clock? That will be 12 noon, because both the clocks are set right at this time, and 40 will also show the same time, 12 noon. Now tomorrow 7 p.m. Tomorrow 7 p.m. this will be showing 7 p.m. only, because this is a correct clock, true clock. So this will be showing 7 p.m. only tomorrow. So basically, what is the time difference between these two? It will be nothing but 12 to 12, 24 hours plus another 7. So that is 31 hour, right? 31 hours difference. However, this clock will not be showing the 7 p.m. This would have gained something because it is gaining. Now, what is the rate of gain? Rate of gain is that in 64 minutes, gain is 16 by 11 minute. So in 31 hours, okay. Uh, no. Find the actual time when the 40 clock shows 7 p.m. So this will be like not like this. So here actually 40 clock is showing 7 p.m. So certainly correct clock will be showing some time which will be less than 7 p.m. Right? Which will be less than 7 p.m. So here it is like, now see. So here this is the 7 p.m. is the time being shown by the 40 clock, right? And now when the actual time was set tomorrow is 7 p.m. So this was showing 7 p.m. Then this would be showing something else, right? With some gain. So what is that time? That we can find out, right? Let this time be t. So in 31 hours, the gain by the 40 clock is how much? 16 by 11 by 64 into 31, right? Uh, However, this is in hours, so we need to convert this to minute. Now, so what is the value of this? Let us calculate. So this becomes 16 into 31 into 60 divided by 64 divided by 11. So this gives a value of 42.2727 minute, right? So basically it means that when it was 7 p.m. in the correct watch, it was 7 p.m. and 42.27 minute, right? So basically then we can say that uh, so from 12 noon, so t is equal to 7 p.m. and 42.2727 minute. So what is the total time between these two instances? That is nothing but what? That is nothing but total is 31 hours. So basically 31 hours is 31 into 60, right? So 31 into 60 is 1860 hours plus 42.2727. So this gives 1902. So basically we can say here that in 1902, so when the 40 clock has moved by 40 clock time is 1902.2727, the gain is 42.2727. So when the 40 clock would have, the time would have changed by 1860, right? 1860 is the actual change which we want, no? Till 7 p.m. From 12 p.m. to 7 p.m., that is 31 into 60, that is 1860. So when the 40 clock time would have changed by 1860 minutes, then the time gain would have been 42.2727 upon 1902.2727 into 1860. So let us calculate this, what it comes into 42.2727 divided by 1902.2727. So this comes at 41 point, this is nothing but 41.333 minute. So basically that means that when the 40 clock was showing 7 p.m., at that time the clock was 41.333 minutes ahead. So basically what was the time being shown in the correct watch? So time shown in the correct watch at that time, correct watch would be nothing but 7 p.m. as shown by 40 watch minus 41.333 minutes, and that is 6. And then from 60, it will be, I mean, had it been 41, so it would have been 30 20, 19 minutes. It's 18.667 minute. So this is the answer, that is 18.667 minute past 6 o'clock would be the time in the correct watch, right? So basically, I mean, a bit tricky in a way that the time of the 40 clock was given. That 40 clock was showing 7 p.m. So what we did, we assumed that okay, when the correct clock was showing 7 p.m., then what was the time shown by 40 clock? So for that, we knew that the clock would have been showing what, 7 p.m. and 42.2727 minutes. So basically, in the over, so by then the 40 clock would have moved by 1902.2727 minute, and thereby having a gain of 42.2727 minutes. So if the actual movement in the 40 clock, which is from 12 noon to 7 p.m., is 1860 minutes, then by that time what would have been the gain in the 40 clock? So as soon as we found the gain, then we subtracted that from the 40 clock reading to get the correct clock reading. Now moving to question number 7, it says that a one clock which gains uniformly is 5 minutes slow at 8 a.m. on Sunday and is 5 minute 48-second fast at 8 p.m. on the following Sunday. When did it show the correct time? So again a good question here. So here uh, again there is a correct clock and a faulty clock. So when the correct clock is showing 8 a.m. Sunday, faulty is showing 5 minutes slow. So that means it is 7:55 a.m. in the faulty clock. Right. Now the next Sunday 8 p.m. So next Sunday 8 p.m. At that time the faulty clock was showing 5 minute 48-second past 8 p.m. So that is 8 o'clock and 5 minute and 48 second. So 5 minute and 48 second basically we can convert to decimal. So it will be 5 and 48 by second. This is 48 by 60. So this becomes 4 by 5. So this is basically 5.8 minute. Right. So this we can write as 8 hours and 5.8 minutes. So what is the net gain? This time is nothing but 24 into 7 plus 12 hours, right? From 8 a.m. Sunday to next Sunday 8 a.m. it's 24 hour into 7 days and plus additional 12 hour because it is PM here. So this is nothing but 180 hours. So we can say that in 180 hour clock gained how much time? That is it was 5 minute this year minus 5 and here it is plus 5.8, right? So this becomes 10.8. Clock gained 10.8 minutes overall. So total gain is 10.8 minutes in 180 hours. So now question is when did the clock show the correct time? So basically we look at it in a reverse fashion. That is for a gain of it's on unitary method now 10.8 minute. The clock took 180 hours. I mean in 180 hours of actual time the clock gained 10.8 minute. So for 1 minute gain clock will take what 180 upon 10 point. Now see here it is minute, here it is hour. So basically we will convert everything to minute now, right? So this is the time, or we can leave it in hours also, not a issue. And then so therefore finally for a gain of, and now when will it show the correct time? It will show the correct time when it would have gained 5, I mean from the starting, that is the reference anchoring point, this is the anchoring point. From here if it would have gained plus 5, that is it was slow 5 minutes. So when it would have gained a net 5 minutes, then at that time it would have been showing the correct time. So the net gain of 5 minutes would have been achieved by what time? That is 180 upon 10.8 into 5 hour, right? And this is nothing but 900. I mean this you can cancel out also. So 18 10 ja, and this is 6 times, this is 3, this is 50. So this will be nothing but 250 by 3 hours. 250 by 3 hours. So 250 by 3 hours means what? This is 3 7 ja 21 4 other 3 8 ja 24 1 3 3 ja 2 3 3 ja 9 1 3 3 hours, right? This is the, yeah. So basically from here I mean 83 hours. So 83 hours means what? 3 days, 3 days, and then, so 3 days means 72 hours. What remains is 11.33 hours. So 11.33 hours. I mean, 0.33 hours means what? 1 by 3 of 60 minutes. That is, this can be written as 11 hours and 20 minutes. So basically, it says that after 3 days and 11 hours and 20 minutes, so after 3 day, 11 hours, 20 minutes, the clock would have gained by 5 minutes, and hence it would have been showing the correct time. So that is nothing but from Sunday 8 a.m. The after 3 day hence will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday 8 a.m. Now from Wednesday 8 a.m. to 11 hours would be what? Wednesday 7 p.m. and 20 minutes. So it will be 7:20 p.m. Wednesday. That will be the answer to this question, right? So I mean, just on the lines what we have discussed so far, a bit of a arithmetical operations here and there. Otherwise, the concept, that's nothing new. It's the same as what we have studied so far in this discussion on clocks. Now moving to next question, which is question number 8. It says that at 5 a.m. on Sunday, one of Ramesh's watch is 5 minutes fast and his second watch is 6 minutes slow. On Wednesday at 6 p.m., the first watch is 1 minute slow and the second is 3 minutes fast. When did the two watch show the same time? So this is also a good problem. Let us see how to solve it. So here it says that there are three watches. Say suppose true watch, then there is another watch, watch 1, and then watch 2. At 5 a.m. on Sunday, so true watch would be showing 5 a.m. Sunday. One of the Ramesh's watch is 5 minutes fast, so it would have been showing 5:05 a.m. And his second watch, which is 6 minutes slow, so it would have shown what? 4:54 a.m. on the same day. On Wednesday at 6 p.m. Now, when the true watch would be showing 6 p.m. Wednesday, so what is the time elapsed during this? From 5 a.m. Sunday to 5 a.m. Wednesday, it would have been 72 hours, but it's 6 p.m. So that is additional 13 hours. So 72 plus 13 means what? That would be nothing but 85 hours, right? 85 hours. So it is 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. That would be 72 hours, and then 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. 12 hours plus 113 hours. So this is 85 hours. That is fine. Now 85 hours. And at 6 p.m. Wednesday, the first watch is 1 minute slow. So that is it's showing 5 hours and 59 minutes p.m. And the second watch is 3 minutes fast. So it was showing 6:03 p.m. Right. So what is the net gain here? Gain or loss? So here it is. So in 85 hours, watch 1 has slowed by 6 minutes and watch 2 has gained by 9 minutes, right? So we can say that in 1 hour, so in 1 hour, watch 1 would slow by 6 by 85 minutes and watch 2 will slow by 9 by 85 minutes. This is a slow rate, right? and this is the gain rate for watch 2. Now see, just by unitary method. So basically, it is assumed that after x time, that's after x hours, the two watches show the same time. So what does this mean? So now x hours after the starting time, right? 5 a.m. Sunday. So what it would be? It would be like 5. So basically, 5:05 was the initial time. 5:05, and then the watch is slowing at a rate of 6 by 85 minute per hour. So it will be minus 6 by 85 into x, right, for x hours, and this will be same as the time shown by watch 2. Watch 2 was initially 5:54, and then it is gaining at a rate of 9 by 85 minutes per hour. So 9 by 85 into x, right? So here we can now further simplify this. If we take this to the LHS, it will be nothing but 505 minus 454 will give us 11 minutes. So this will be 11 minutes is equal to, and this we will take to the RHS, so it will be 15 x upon 85. So from here we can say that x is nothing but 11 into 85 upon 15 hours, right? So what is the value of this? Let us calculate. 11 into 85 divided by 15 is 62.33 hours. 62.333 hours. So 62 hours means what? This is 2 day, means 48 hours, and then another after 48 hours, this is 14.33 hours. So this can be written as further 2 day, 14 hours, and 0.33 hours means 20 minute, right? So after x hours, so that is what is the time? I mean, it was 5 a.m. on Sunday. So after x hours, it will be after 2 days after Sunday will be Tuesday, right? And time 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. 2 day becomes then 14 hours. So it becomes 5 p.m. plus 2 hours, then 7 p.m. 7 p.m. and 20 minutes. So Tuesday 7:20 p.m. is the answer. So when did the two watches show the same time? It was Tuesday 7:20 p.m. So this is the way we solve the question. I mean, I've been going very slow with all the steps and the basics being discussed here. Now moving to question number 9, and this is now see, question says that my digital clock is peculiar. It counts 10 seconds of a normal clock as 1 minute and 60 such minutes of itself as 1 hour. It also has a display which shows the day. It was at par with the normal clock at 12 noon on Monday. At 3 p.m. of the same day, the actual day, what would be the time shown by the weird clock? So let us first try to understand the concept here. This is a true clock, and the bottom one is a weird clock. So now what happens? In true clock, we know that the minute hand covers what I mean 60 units per hour, right? The speed of the minute hand, and speed of the hour hand is 5 unit per hour. This is the basic we know. Now here what is happening, the now this was 1.23, and there are 5 divisions internally between each hour, right? So similarly here also there would be 12 hour points, 12 hour points would be there, and each hour will have 5 subdivisions. Now from one, so what happens, the minute hand here, from one unit to another unit, it takes only 20 second, it takes 20 second. So minute hand here is taking 20 second to cover one unit in 20 second, whereas here the minute hand in the original clock, in the true clock, takes 60 second to cover one unit, right? Because 60 second is 1 minute, so minute hand takes 60 second, and here it's taking only 20, sorry, it's 10 second only, 10 second. So basically what this here, the speed of the minute hand sm dash would be just 6 times the speed of the minute hand here, so that will be 360 unit per hour, right? 360 unit per hour, where when we say hour, then that is the actual time. So in actual 1 hour, the minute hand would have covered 360 units, right? Or 6 round of the clock, because the speed is 6 times the yeah. So now if this is clear, then we can solve this question easily now. So here what happens, there is a true clock and there is a weird clock. Now what is the speed of minute hand here? That is, we know, 60 unit per hour. And here the speed of the weird clock we have calculated, that is 6 times. So 360 unit per hour. So now what is the distance traveled by the minute hand in of the actual clock in 3 hours, from 12 noon to 3 p.m. So that is 3 hours. So it will cover 60 into 3, right? Which is 180 units. 180 units. Whereas this will cover 360 into 3, right? Which is equal to 1080 units. Now 1080 units of its clock. Now in the weird clock also 60 units, in weird clock also, in weird clock also 60 units by minute hand is equal to what? 1 hour, right? 1 hour of the weird clock. Here minute hand of weird clock. So when it is taking 1080 units of by the, so that will be nothing but 1 upon 60 into 1080. So that will be 18 hours, right? 18 hours. So what is 18 hours then? 18 hours of the weird clock. So weird clock is today it's showing, and both were showing the same time, that is 12 noon at today. So after 18 hours, after 18 hours, the weird clock will show what time? That is 12 plus 12 become the 12 noon Tuesday. So it will show, and then further 6 hours. No, no. This is 12 noon Monday, right? So it will show 12 midnight after 12 hours, and plus 6 hours means it is 6 a.m. Tuesday. it is showing, then it will show after 18 hours. After 18 hours, weird clock will show what, that will be 6 a.m. Tuesday, right? This is the answer. Why Tuesday? Just add 18 hours to 12 noon Monday. So this will be the answer to this question. I mean, pretty simple. Just, I mean, I have taken this through most of the I mean basic concepts here, using the basic concept. Otherwise, using the what we say, the unitary method also, this can be easily understood, but that may not be the best of the approach. This is the best approach which actually drives the timing being shown by any of the watches, because in some of the problems it may not be a regular watch, it may be a say semi circular watch, or the watches where the speeds of the minute hand or the hour hand are different. So in that case this concept will be useful, right? Now moving to the question number 10, I believe this is the last question for this session. So it says that clocks ABC strikes every hour. So B slows down and takes 2 minutes longer than A per hour, while C becomes faster and takes 2 minutes less than A per hour. If they strike together at 12 midnight, when will they strike together again? So let us see the problem here. What does this mean? So here is clock A, B, and C. If they strike here at 12 noon, sorry, 12 midnight, both strike together, right? Now after time t, what happens after 1 hour, that is when the actual time is 1 a.m. So after this it will strike after every hour, right? So this will strike after 60 minutes, this will strike after 62 minutes, and this will strike after 58 minutes, right? This is what is given. This is what is given. So in general term we can say that A will be striking after every 60t, B will be striking after 62t, and C will be striking after 63, sorry, 58t, right? This is the most general form of now saying the same thing. It means that whenever A strikes, B strikes 2 minutes after that, and C strikes 2 minutes earlier than that, because every hour they will be gaining that, right? B slows down and takes 2 minutes longer than A per hour, right? So if it is after T hours, it will be into T. That is what we have done here, right? If we see the difference between A and B, it is 2T, and between B and C, it is 4T, and that is what has been given. That B slows down and takes 2 minutes longer than A per hour. So if it is 3 hours, it will be 2 into 3. And here, while C becomes faster and takes 2 minutes less, so it means that uh, from A it will be 2 minutes less. So difference is 2T. So say after 4 minutes, it will be 4 into 2, that is 8 minutes less. So this is the most generic way of writing the year. So this will be striking after 60t, 62t, and 58t. So now this becomes a question of a NCM now. Okay, what is the earliest time they will be striking together? So this we have seen in a number system also. So when A, B, and C will be striking at a time which is 60t, after 62t, and after 58t, the earliest they will be striking is nothing but LCM of 60, 62, 58, and t is common, so t into, right? So this will be t into LCM of 60, 62, and 58 can be written as, I mean, this we can expand as 2 into 30, 2 into 31, 2 into 29. So 2 is common, you can take the LCM. I'm just trying to simplify this. 2 into 30 into 31 into 29. So this is the time. This is the generic time. And since it has to be list, so we will take t is equal to 1. That is the first value. So t, hence we can ignore here. So what will be the value here? 30 into 31 into 29 into 2. So that is nothing but, I think, 899 hours. 899 hours. So this will be 899 hours. Now 899 hours, let us see what does this mean. 899, when we divide by 24, it gives us 24, 3 is 72, 179, and then I think this will go 7 times. So this will be 168, 1. So this is basically 37 days and 11 hours. So question is, when will they strike together again? So after 37 days and 11 hours. So what is that time after 37 days and 11 hours? So the time will be nothing but they strike together at 12 noon, 12 midnight. So next they will be striking at 11 a.m. after 37 days. This is the answer to this question, right? So this was more of a question of pertaining to NCM. Only concept we had to use that every A will strike every 60 minutes, B will strike every 62 minutes, C will strike every 58 minutes. So what is the earliest they will strike? They will strike, that will be nothing but the LCM of the three figures, 60, 62 and 58. And that is 899. That is 37 days and 11 hours, which means 11 a.m. on the 37th day from today. So this is the answer to this question. So hereby we complete clocks, and along with this we also complete our sessions on time, speed and distance. So thanks for watching this. Any query you can get back to us on our website. Thanks again.